Whoa. Oh, I can't see. Why is everything all blurry? I can't find nothing. Oh, fix the camera. Do you notice anything different? Do you notice anything different? Okay, so I had some black paint that's been in my shop for quite a while, and I decided to use it to try to get rid of some old existing stock. I was not sure how it would turn out, but looking at the finished product, I really like it. It does make it a little bit dark in there, but it's just a really cool concept with the black in the wood. And I was going to stain the wood, but I kind of liked the natural look of the birch plywood that I got for the flip cart. This is 3 extra sheets that I had. Right now I'm ripping down the plywood to do a tool cubby, and I do a 1/4 inch groove along the top and bottom components through the length of it, and they're separated about 2 inches apart, and you'll see that shortly. I started to do it with a router bit, cutting that 1/4 inch groove for my dividers, but the router bit wound up slipping deeper into the wood, and I just lost all faith in it. So that's when I hooked up the dado stack, set it. I started 5 inches away from the end, and then I did a groove every 2 inches. And so we're using the Craig jig, basic cabinets, basic joints, no need to overcomplicate things. I'm slapping some pocket screws in it and rolling on. It's a very simple cabinet. You can see how the dividers will work. I can adjust it to fit the tool. Whichever tool goes in the slot, I can kind of move the dividers around to fit it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is put in our dividers. Now for dividers, I am using pegboard. It was a lot cheaper than 1/4 inch plywood, and what I would like to do, for instance, where my palm router goes, this is the wrench for the palm router, the accessory, this is exactly how here it is. So where my palm router goes in the slot, I can hang the accessory that goes with it, the wrench that goes with it. It's all up there with the router itself. It was $11 for a sheet of 2x4 pegboard, and it was plenty. I think it's going to be plenty of dividers. We shall see. So this was a good idea in theory, to put my power tools in the drawer, but it turned out to be a terrible idea in practice. It just got aggravating taking everything in and out, and rolling up the cords. What my goal with this is to be able to just throw the cord to the back and be done with it. Like, well, I need him to grab it. But there we go. Palm router. Jigsaw. And then, like I was saying, even with the jigsaw, I could take the case that the blades come in, and I can hang it right where the jigsaw goes. I really don't want it to stick out that far. Why am I wearing this apron? It is hot in here. Let me take my apron off. I'm going to put the heavier tools closer to this middle support. This is screwed into the top and the bottom. So I have this router, which has been put up for quite a while. We'll set that, well, let's do it like that. And then this router is pretty hefty as well. So I decided after I put the cubby up that I wanted to add some more of the plywood to the wall. So I went with a French cleat, a little mini French cleat wall. And I'm going to put the drill press in that area. the French cleat I'm going to use to hang my router bits and my sandpaper. And I'm really glad I moved the drill press over to that area because I honestly forget that I even have it. When it's sitting in the corner in the back of the shop, I don't look in that area that much, if that makes sense. Even though the shop is very small, I forget that I have this really nice tool sitting there, literally collecting dust and not being used. So here we're using the same technique that we used to build the cubby. I'm cutting out my inserts. They're 1/4 inch. I had some extra pegboard left to do some small dividers. And this is what I'm going to use to put my sandpaper in. Same thing, Craig jig. I put a backer, put a cleat, hang it on the wall, and then fill it up. Or fill it up 3/4 of the way. I thought I had more sandpaper than I did, but I don't. So I get about 3/4 of the way up, and that's about as much as I have for now. I'm sure I'll add something else to it. And cue the cool music playing in the background. Just kidding. I'm not doing cool music in the background because I keep getting copyright strikes and I have to go back and delete music. This is my wall so far. Okay, so the wall is done and I love it. It makes the space a lot more enjoyable to work in. It's just cool to look at. It's a little bit inspiring and it frees up all of this space. What I want to do is get a bandsaw and a joiner and fit it in this little shop. And it has made a lot of space available. So that's what I'm going to do. And it makes the workspace more aesthetically pleasing. I really like it. Well, hey, let me turn you around. I like it. I wasn't sure how the black was going to turn out, but it turned out. So I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a fun build. And now here we have the closing remarks and the closing finishing statement upon which I will end the video on. I might say something else, but all in the effort to close. And now we close. Be neat.